Well, hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, everybody. I am heading out for dinner. Get over. We have a great idea for the 30 days of 30 habits to happiness. And a really great one actually is today's. I think it's number 14, if I remember correctly. And so the 30 habits to happiness, number 14 is drink plenty of water. So do you drink your eight ounces of water every day? 8 times 8 is 64. 64 ounces of water every day. They say for women it's a little bit less, for men it's a little bit more. I guess it probably depends a little bit about a lot of things that have to do with where you physically live. If it's a hot climate, you might need to drink more. If you are on medications that deplete your water in your body, you might have to drink more. But believe it or not, drinking water is a habit for happiness. It's number 14 on the list. So some of the real basic things that drinking a lot of water does is obviously it flushes your system out, so it improves your body's ability to excrete all types of things in all manners and systems, so that your body isn't clogged up on any level. And obviously perspiration being one of them, going to the bathroom is another one, but it also regulates your body temperature. So water is a critical piece of your body's temperature staying in the normal range. And there's some controversy about cold water, hot water, what's the best, that kind of thing. I think probably room temperature is probably not a bad idea. Of course, if you have like a cold or something like that, warm water or, hot chicken soup, the broth, something like that would be excellent. And that would help as well in terms of healing internally. Another thing that's super important about water, drinking enough water, is it helps your brain function. So it helps your brain to work better. That's one of the important side effects, if you will, of drinking plenty of water. It does create saliva in your mouth, which helps to break down the foods that you eat and start the stomach processes when you are ingesting food. It helps with nutrition. It aids absorption of your nutrition, and it protects the tissues, the spinal cords, the joints. Your joints actually need water to operate well. Your spinal cord needs water to stay fluid, no pun intended, in your body. And that's all important stuff. And if you do a lot of exercise, it can maximize your performance. I always have a bottle of water in the car. I fill it up every day, and I drink it while I'm driving somewhere, just to keep hydrated. And sometimes even if I don't feel thirsty, they do say that with age, sometimes people don't have that thirst trigger any longer as they get older. I don't know, I'm always thirsty, so I don't mind drinking water. But some people, they don't feel like they're thirsty. So it's important to just stay hydrated anyways. You can have dehydration easily, especially if you're someone elderly that doesn't have that thirst ting that comes into your thought process. It does help with, like I said, aiding digestion. It helps with nutrient absorption, helps with losing weight. Your body is 60% water. And believe it or not, adding water doesn't add weight. It actually helps you to lose weight because all the muscles, joints, and tissues are getting lubricated. It does help improve your blood circulation. So you do have to have plenty of water in order for your blood to circulate properly. And it does fight off illnesses. So in terms of this COVID-19 or your immune system getting built up, a very good source of your nutrition and your immune building is drinking water. It fights off kidney stones and UTIs and and it can actually boost your energy levels. So there's so much to it, and I think it's important that people are aware that water is, well, we can't live without it. Let's put it that way. We all know that intellectually, probably, but I think it's easy to forget. There's lots of places that sell, you can buy bottled water everywhere on the planet. I mean, 20, 30 years ago, nobody even thought about buying bottled water. That was just unheard of. And now it's just such a common practice. It's kind of unbelievable. Of course, that's led to other issues with plastics, but we won't go there today. We'll just stick with drinking plenty of water. And if you have a water system at home that cleans your water like I do, takes out 99% of all the impurities and the fluorides and all that other garbage that gets put into water nowadays. I drink really clean water, and I like having that. There's numerous, depending on your budget, there are numerous ways to clean your water, whether it's well water, if you haven't had it tested, or if it's city water and you're concerned about any types of impurities in it. Then you might want to think about getting some kind of a filter for the water that you consume. Usually if you boil water, that takes out a lot of the stuff. It doesn't take out everything, but it's important. It takes out the important things that probably would be necessary if you can't deal with getting some kind of a filtration system, either in your home or on the countertop. Mine's on the countertop, and I love it. The water does taste different from tap. And I have really good tap water where I live. It tastes good. I know it's always been something that I've enjoyed all my life. And of course, I like to drink water. And actually, I like to drink water just plain. But there are people who don't like to drink it just plain. So put a drop of, an essential oil in there, a lemon, or maybe a mint or eucalyptus, or something that you do like. Obviously, tea counts. Water, your water consumption. Tea counts. Soup counts. Things that have a lot of water in them. Coffee does not. I know there's water in coffee, but coffee is more of a diuretic, so it's going to deplete you of your water in your internal system. So you might want to think about that, not drinking too much coffee, because that will take away from some of the water that is already in your system. So sometimes I do like lemon in my water. I happen to love lemonade, so that's another good thing that I enjoy, and that would count for water. There's those Gatorade type drinks and things like that with extra electrolytes. That all counts. Try to get the ones that don't have too much fake stuff in them, sugars and things like that. Probably a good count for that. But drinking a lot of water actually can help you boost your mood. And I think that's, if nothing else, a good idea to just at least be aware of wanting to drink at least, a recommended amount. And they say to drink more of it before the early part of the day, so you're not getting up in the middle of the night, going to the bathroom all the time. And if you have most of it is absorbed into your system within a couple of hours, I'm told. So that's another good thing, that if you drink the majority of it, say by 2 or 3 o'clock, you're probably pretty good to go. And I'm just gonna stop at the stop sign here and wave to a few people who are on. Hi, Erla. Hang in there, girl. Thinking about you. So, let's see. I think that's most of all the things about drinking water that I was able to think about. And, oh yeah, another one. Almost forgot. It prevents constipation. So, if you have a lot of constipation in your life, you're probably not drinking enough water. Unless there's some meds that are doing that to you. Because I know some of the meds that they give you, like if you've had surgery, that can really wreak havoc with your digestive system. So you want to make sure that as long as you're not doing that, you're drinking a lot of water so that you can not have a digestive issue such as that, which can be super annoying and painful. as well. I know people have ended up in the hospital thinking they were having, a heart attack or something, and it was just constipation. So it's definitely not good to not drink enough water. You want to stay on top of that. I think one of the things that I think about with water is that, like I said, I personally happen to like to drink water just plain, but I think it's nice that you can have the options of drinking it in so many different beverages that it still counts for your water consumption. For a lot of people, tea is a go-to item that they love. I'm not a big tea drinker. I'm not even a big coffee drinker. I might have 1 cup every couple of weeks or a month. Sometimes I'll go a whole month before I have a cup of coffee, and kind of have it more as a community beverage when I'm hanging out with people more than anything. Well, currently, obviously, my family only, but that's just me. And I know a lot of people get up and they have to have their cup of coffee in the morning, so go for it. But just recognize you might need to drink probably about 2 cups of water to mitigate that water that the coffee is depleting from your system. So, drinking water, that's I think we're up onto number 14 of the 30 Habits for Happiness. And I wonder how many of you have been around from the beginning. I don't know. I haven't kept track or anything. But the first one was be kind. The second one was eat well. I think the third one was exercise. I'm actually forgetting the order of them at the moment as I'm driving along here. But there are always some good ones. Thinking positively was yesterday, and the thing that really, when I look at the whole list of the 30 habits for happiness, they're virtually impossible to do all of those things on a daily basis. But you know what? Even if you do 1 or 2 on a given day, that's better than none. And if it does help you to be a happier person for that day, then it's served its point. It's served it's done its job, right? So you want to see if you can stay on top of that. Thinking about the 30 habits for happiness. At the end, I will post them on my page, so you'll have them all if you want to print it out or anything. I have mine on my bulletin board in my office, and I look at it, sometimes 3 times a day. I'll look at the habit. Oh yeah, I gotta remember that. And it just is a good reminder to stay on top of those things that I think are important for me, and hopefully you too. And sometimes it's hard to be happy when other people are suffering, or we know that this virus is affecting other people's economy, their jobs, their well-being, their mental state of health, their physical well-being. Maybe they're working too much. There's obviously people out there that are working way more than they ever did because they needed to for self-explanatory reasons, like hospitals and grocery stores and places that are open now and have been inundated with work for their profession. So I think that's important to recognize too, that being overwhelmed, you need to have some bright spots in your life. You need to figure out how to get to a happy place when you need to, and you're not depressed and you're not being fearful or worried. I think fear, that old saying from Theodore Roosevelt, or maybe his brother, I forgot, one of the presidents, fear, it's all we have to do is fear. Oh man, I can't even think of the statement. Let me think. I'll hold on for a second here. Something about all we have to worry about is fear itself. Like, fear is its worst enemy almost. And I think that's true. All you see on TV when you're looking at regular TV and even on the internet is, how many people died and all that kind of stuff. And, I know that, anybody can go at any point, whether it's a car accident, a COVID death, an elderly person, a cancer. There's so many other ways besides this virus. It's not the only thing that, people are fearful of. but because it's on the TV 24/7 just about, or it's on the news 24/7, it's almost like it's slamming you constantly. So if you can do your best to, look at where you can mitigate some of that fear and either release it or recognize it for, hey, it's not that something I have to watch for today. I'm taking good care of myself, or I'm eating well, or I'm taking good care of the people that I care about, or I'm working on building my immune system. I'm praying for others. I'm doing all those things that are important for me to, do my part in being aware of what's happening in the world. And we can't fix everything, but we can do pieces of it that will help us. So whatever you can do, guys, I think the world always benefits from all our conscious good thoughts and our consciousness of sending positive vibes out to the world. So I continue to do that, but I also do my part to, whether it's writing to senators or the governor or anybody like that, on issues that I think are important to take a look at as well, I will do that. So I encourage you to do the same. This is your opinion and it's your life. You get to choose what you want to focus on. And there's a lot of important issues out there still, as well as the virus. So let's stay on top of all of them as best you can. So I'm going to sign off in my usual manner, which is, hey guys, the sun is always shining. I don't see it up there at all. However, I know it's there. I know it's there because you know what? If it wasn't shining, we would not be here. So even though it's shining behind those clouds, it's keeping us warm on this planet Earth. So I wish you all the best afternoon and evening, and I'll see you again tomorrow with the next one. Signing off for now. Bye.